Can you refresh my memory? Is it 6.5? Oh, 6 3/4.
7 3/4, 7.5 and 8.
7.5 and 8. There you go. So those are all 3 sizes that are still available in sterling silver and in the vermeil. These earrings are a birthday blowout pricing, and these are some of my favorite earrings. I'm gonna actually slip them in. Oh, I have the door knocker ones.
Love them.
Are you kidding me?
I love these earrings.
They are so much fun. I love the whimsy and the movement of them. The way they just like sliver and they're sleek and slim and just phenomenal.
Yeah, well, first of all, it
and
does.
Look at this price, $49.90.
Okay, first of all, Catherine, if you're listening, this is her. This is her personality. It's sleek and, like really snazzy and sassy.
And smart and sassy.
Smart and sassy. For somebody like me who's more of a romantic at heart, somebody who's practical, I love the fact that it's really easy and simple and stunning, but also this reminds me of like piano.
There is an inside-outside too, isn't there?
Well, left or right, yeah.
Or left or right.
So there's this piano keys.
Okay.
This reminds me of these piano keys, or if you like harpsichord, harps, this reminds me of those beautiful moving lines, and these are all done in baguettes. Again, these baguettes are set at all these different angles on them. They're zigzagging. I can't even believe that this is $39. I'll tell you what, this is $49. I can't even believe that.
Look at him.
It's it's like a price of a simple stud in fashion jewelry.
Well, if you think about that, absolutely.
I know.
And I think that if
or a white T-shirt. It's like a white T-shirt price, like a basic white.
I think if you aspire to have something different, if you have distinctive taste, if you require something that everybody else doesn't have, these earrings are for you. They really say something about your style, about what you love. I think that these are not something you're going to...
a lot of movement around there, too.
It's not... So, sorry, my earpiece is there. But it's something you're not going to see everybody else wearing.
Right.
They do, because they're linear, kind of lengthen the face. I tend to have... I do. I have a very round face. So this helps to lengthen it, kind of help that jawline. I always joke the double chin thing that I can't stand I have. These earrings kind of fool the eye and really just lengthen and elongate. The sparkle is brilliant and beautiful. Now, with this pricing, this is temporary. This is a birthday blowout pricing. If there are any left, obviously at the end of birthday month, that price will go up. I don't anticipate that's going to be the case because of the quantity that we do have, just about 590 of these to go around. I'm going to grab the ruler, Victoria, because I love the length of these.
Love it,
They're that sweet spot. Just about at what? They're saying 1 and 15/16
of an inch. It's not like a shoulder duster. It's not heavy on you.
Almost 2 inches.
It has just that gorgeous, just enough movement to give you structure, elegance, and there's that movement to just really give you little flickers of light on it. The fact that these are all baguettes gives you that higher elevation. It's incredibly upscale.
It is upscale.
It's very, very upscale. And you know what? A lot of times when you buy earrings, they're either way over the top or they're just simple studs. You don't seem to have the practical ones that are very stylish. I shop all the time. I mean, I think I'm like a professional shopper. I like to shop and see what your options are. I know, I love that. What your options are at home. When I go to the stores, most of the money is spent on rings. They don't really have money. And you know what? Don't you think when you don't have earrings, like you don't feel like you're finished dressing? Yeah,
You're not complete. And I wanted to show you, if you want some rings to kind of go back, of course, these are earrings that are going to go back to anything you have, but that beautiful simulated opal, it was simulated, right?
Yes.
Yeah, simulated opal, synthetic opal, pardon me. And then you also have that beautiful brand new signature ring that works back. You have them in vermeil or you have them in the sterling silver. We've got a spotlight coming up next, and we're dwindling down with